What's going on, everyone? SurgicalSnipes here, back at it again with day seven of Diablo tries to contact Blizzard Entertainment. What is going on, everyone? We are now in day 7, y'all. Day 7, all right? It's been a week. 1 week has passed already of me trying to contact Blizzard Entertainment to let them know that I am Diablo of the entire Diablo franchise of made by Blizzard Entertainment. All right, so yeah, we are on day 7 now. We have hit the official 1 week mark pretty much, you know, and it hasn't been a week exactly, of me doing this. I've been doing this for years already, right? But this is like the official day 7 of me doing the series every day of trying to contact Blizzard Entertainment. If you guys haven't seen my other videos, in the series, this is video number 7. I'm gonna make the playlist, and I'll have the playlist up right now after this video for you guys to check out the previous ones if you haven't seen it from the previous days. Some pretty funny stuff, pretty cool stuff, pretty funny. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here today. What's going on today? Well, yesterday I was talking about the Doom collab, the Doom Dark Ages collaboration with Diablo Immortal here. We discussed the Phantom Market and the new gem, the Crucible, and the other stuff that's in there. Matter of fact, let's check that out real quick. Let's do a quick recap on the event here because I wanted to see something here. All right, see, so we got the Slayer's Reign from April 16th to May 13th. Okay, so we talked about all this yesterday. And I wanted to check out I forgot that you can check out all the cosmetics from all the different classes. All the skins from all the different classes by, let's see. Okay, that's the wallpaper. Looks pretty sick. Like I said in the other video yesterday, like I mentioned yesterday, the skin looks like a cross of like Destiny. For those who don't know the Destiny franchise, like a character that would be from Destiny or from Halo. Or it could just look like a green Power Ranger. Anyways, so that's what it is, y'all. What else? Let me see. This is the video here. I showed that already. Okay, so yeah, so you can actually check all the classes, all the skin from all the classes in this section here, in the cosmetic preview section. So I didn't do that yesterday. And yeah, let's start from the top here. Right, so that's the wizard. Okay, then we have the barbarian, the barb. Okay, this is going to be the monk. Demon hunter, the class that I play, this is the one for demon hunters. The crossbows look pretty sick, with the green arrows. All right, then we got the satyrs here, the crusaders. We got the necromancer here, which I think is the best looking one because of the helmet, right? The helmet is the only helmet that has the evil smiling face. I think all of them should have had it, or at least had the option to put the evil smiling face on those because this one took the cake as far as the helmet, Yeah, the necromancer one looks pretty much badass, All right, this is the one I didn't see. This is the one we didn't see yesterday. I didn't cover this one yesterday. This one is the Blood Knight. For all the Blood Knights out there, this is what the cosmetic would look like here. The Tempest looks pretty sick too, you know. I think he has a smiling face also. Yeah, Tempest looks pretty sick also. And last but not least, we have the Druid. Okay, so I just wanted to check that out real quick, all the classes. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, I talked about all this stuff here in the event. But yeah, the Doom Dark Ages event is now live. This is day 2 of it. And yeah, you know, Doom has collabed with Diablo Immortal. Okay, so what else can we talk about today? All right, you know, it's day 7. 1 week of Diablo trying to get in contact with Blizzard. You know, I'm trying to get in contact with Blizzard to let them know my story. You know, that I'm the #1 player of the entire franchise and all that. And let's see here. So, what else can I talk about? Let's see. Well, oh yeah, today I equipped some new legendary gear for Inferno 11, and I was able to finally reach the my strength and fortitude levels to 25,000 strength and 24.5k fortitude. You guys ever seen that before? 25,000 strength? You know? I don't think anybody else does that shit, you know? I don't think anybody has that in the entire game, you know? So I think that's pretty cool. You know, what's it called, guys? I equip all fortitude and strength gear and set items, as you guys can see here. And then my set items here, I have them all fortitude strength. All fortitude strength here. Yes, I know I got to get my rings to the blue ones to get the armor pen sapphires. You know, but I don't need it too much, you know. As long as the game's playable, it doesn't matter really, but as long as the PvP matches are playable, I really don't need it, but of course it would be cool to get the blue rings also. The blue socket rings on those for the sapphires, but we'll get them eventually, hopefully. Okay, yeah, but anyways, yo, so if I'm missing another 2-stat fortitude strength piece, so my strength and fortitude would even increase even more. Once I do that, I'll probably have like a couple hundred more. But look at that, y'all. A completely flat 25k flat strength stat. You know? And I know a lot of players are going to say, oh, you know, you got to stack fortitude willpower, you know, but, you know, fortitude strength, that freaking, what's it called? You know, strength gets strifed and, you know, willpower doesn't get strifed in the PvP. But hey, man, it works fine for me, you know. So 25k fortitude, 25k strength, 24.5k fortitude. And yeah, this is that's the stat right there, you know, 25k flat. Okay, now once I get my fortitude and strength 2-stat gear, then it'll be even higher, a little bit more higher. And then even after I'm done getting that one, then the next one, my neck piece, I gotta get a freaking Inferno 11 neck piece, because this one's still from Inferno 10. You know, I've been using a freaking Inferno 10 neck piece still from the previous difficulty. You know, that's funny. You know, that's kind of funny. But that just goes to show, right? Like I don't I really don't care about PvE. You know, like PvE is just not my thing. It's for me. It's like a chore, right? It's like a chore to do this shit. The freaking PvE stuff, right? Grinding the same fucking dungeons and shit all fucking day. just to get the set items. And then when you get the set item, when you get the wisps, right? Because you need 5 wisps, and I know you can get the wisps through other sources, right? Like the Moonlight divination thing or whatever the fuck that is. And I think also in one of the Vanguard things you can get set items also. I think, I don't know, but fucking the main way I get the set items, the wisps, is mainly just the dungeon grinding, and that's just stupid, just doing it all fucking day, and then it's one thing if that, I hope they can fix this shit because it's fucked up. I hope they can fix the whole getting wisps thing, because let's say you get the 5 wisps, and then you craft the item, you craft the set item, right? And then after that, it doesn't roll the correct attribute that you want, and then you got to do it all over again. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I got to do it all over again. And then when I grind the 5 wisps again, and then I try to craft my set item, it still doesn't fucking craft the correct attribute. So it's just bullshit. I hope they can allow us to fucking choose the attribute of our set items and gear. You know, Shit, make it a thing where if people have to pay for it, I would gladly pay for the fucking thing to be able to change the attributes, man, because it's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying, and it just it discourages me from even. It doesn't motivate me to even keep trying to do this shit, right? Most people, they just get the all fortitude, willpower, and then maybe they get the triple stack here, right? But for specific just fortitude strength pieces, it's all RNG, and that pisses me off because it's annoying as fuck. You can do the whole fucking day grinding, the whole day grinding, and then nothing. No, it wouldn't give you that exactly that fortitude strength of attributes. Or if you're looking for all fortitude willpower stuff, you know. But yeah, for PvP, I would recommend going for all fortitude strength, legendary items, and set items. Okay, now, but for PvE, then of course, if you want to increase your combat rating, then you can go for the triple stack gear, right? The 3-2 and the 3-3 triple stack gear. And now there's even ancient gear, right? There's even ancient gear people can get also, right? But I don't mess with all that, because I don't gotta do all that. So, anyways, yeah, and I made a video about this. If you guys want to look that up, if you haven't seen that one already, talking about this more about this topic about the whole fortitude strength versus fortitude willpower debate. And of course there are builds out there. Of course there are classes out there that prioritize potency. So fortitude willpower most likely would be the right choice for them. But of course, if you want to hit as hard as you possibly can, then it's going to be fortitude strength, because fortitude strength increases your damage, even though it gets strifed, in the battlegrounds. I mean, if you guys look at my matches, I mean, see, I'm pretty sure I'm hitting them. When I'm able to do damage, then it shows. So definitely fortitude strength if you're trying to deal as much damage as possible. It's as simple as that. It says right there, increases damage. What else, y'all? So yeah, we're still in day 6 here. I mean, day 7 now. It's one weekend, and trying to let Blizzard know what's going on, and either they're gonna accept the truth or they're not gonna accept the truth, right? I freaking, I climbed to legend. I climbed to legend rank with no 5-star gems, charms, runes, familiars, ancient gear equipped, etc. And I'm only at 1230 resonance, right? 1.2k res, and right, the leaderboards, I'm the number 1 player out of all the classes. Don't let that 24 fool you. That's a lie. We all know that it should say number 1 in all the classes, right? And the thing is, I would play all the other classes, but again, it's just too much PvE. It's too much PvE to fucking grind all the legendary items, right? And I hope they can fix that shit, right? Because it discourages people to even try to play other classes if they want to play the meta builds, right? I shouldn't have to fucking play PvE all day and night for a week or two, grinding straight all day. And even with then, if you have low resonance, then the magic find doesn't. The magic find is this all stupid, right? The magic find percentage, this thing. Let me see here. This one right here, magic find. How do I look for that shit again? Magic find here. See, so mine's at 65%, right? And some people have like 100% or 120% magic find or something like that. And that helps out with the legendary items, right? As it says here. And some people are having this question for a long time. It's like, hey, does magic find percentage help you get the legendary items quicker? And does it help with the drops in legendary items? And it says here, increases the chance for items dropped by monsters to be magic, rare, or legendary. There's the answer, right? Or legendary. So people didn't know that. It's all based on magic find percentage because it says right there, increases the chance for items dropped to be magic, rare, legendary. So pretty much legendary. You don't got to worry about magic or rare because nobody equips that, right? So increases the chance for items dropped by legendary items, pretty much. So the higher percentage you have, then the higher chance the legendary items would keep dropping, in the open world. And that's what it is, y'all. So what was I gonna say here? Oh yeah, so the leaderboard stuff, right? And I talk about this in all my other videos, right? In the leaderboards, nobody plays the game how I play the game on this, so that's why I'm the number one player in all the classes, right? And I would play all the other classes, right? I've been number one BG legend in 7 out of the 9 classes, right? No matter how I did it, it happened, right? I got the main thing is putting your name on the board to make it official, and I've done that, right? If you guys want to see the screenshots, it's there on my Instagram page, on my leaderboard stuff. I should put the one where I got the leaderboard where I was able to hit legend rank on day 1 of a new cycle, and then I was only legend in the whole server, and everybody else was still in silver rank, right? I have that. I don't know why I didn't put that on my Instagram page. Maybe I'll do that today. That way, it's just for more proof stuff. But yeah, I had it where I've done it twice or 3 times. I think twice where I got legend in one day. This is back in the day, years ago. Where I got legend in one day, and then everybody else in the server was either a silver or gold player. And that was pretty cool. That was kind of interesting to be the only legend on the server at least for one day. Anyways, y'all. But yeah, so everybody in the in all the classes, not just in this server, but in all the servers of the entire game, everybody's equipping 5-star gems, charms, runes, familiars, ancient gear, and a bunch of resonance to be in the top 10 or whatever of the leaderboards and shit, And I didn't have to do that back when I was climbing for the leaderboard and shit, but yeah. And then now people are saying, "Oh no, it's all about win rate and and what's it called? Win rate and what's the other one called? Win rate and score, right? BG score." Or some people saying you got to have 10K BG score, right? Or 12K BG score. I'm like, "What the hell, dude?" Right? You got to think about that. That's just they're spamming the matches, and if they have like 10K resonance or more than that, then they're just steamrolling through everybody, getting 50 kills, 40 kills, 40 and 0, 30 and 0, 50 and 0, or whatever. And that's just all bullshit anyway, right? Because that's all pay to win stats. They're spending tens of thousands of dollars just to freaking climb the leaderboard, but again, it's not their fault, right? You can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game for that, right? If that's what it is, because if the whales are allowed to do that, right? Because it's a pay to win game, right? Since day one, then they're gonna do that, right? So if a guy is willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars to pass me in the leaderboard in a pay to win game, sure enough, he's gonna pass me in the leaderboard, So it is what it is, and unfortunately, that's how the leaderboard stuff works here. And the thing is this though, when it comes to the leaderboard stuff, like I mentioned before in my other videos, you don't really need to have that much high resonance to hold the #1 spot or to be in the top 10, right? You can be holding you can still have a chance to get what's it called, you can still have a chance to climb the leaderboard at like 2K resonance, between 2 to 3K resonance, right? 2 to 2.5, between 2 to 3K resonance. That's a sweet spot just for the game to be playable enough to where you can actually hold the #1 spot. Like this guy, for example, here. Let me see if I can find this here. I know he was a monk, right? This player here, he's holding the #1 monk spot, right? With only 22.6K resonance, right? So that's what it is, y'all. And at 8,000K, 8,000K BG score. You see? Right? And that's going to be ahead of some whales, right? But it all depends on how much you're playing the game also, right? If you're playing the game all day, every day, or if you have pilots to keep playing every day, they take shifts, right? They take shifts, you know? Some people have like 2 pilots or 3 pilots on the same account. I'm not saying this person was doing that, but some players, to get the freaking 10K BG score, 12K BG score, they're gonna have people playing one person playing in the morning, one person playing in the afternoon, and one person playing at night. Like 3 8-hour shifts or whatever, or a couple 4-hour shifts, and they just they're just constantly playing the battlegrounds all fucking day, nonstop, and they're winning matches too. Because they have to win matches in order to get the score up, right? So that's just on top of the pay to win stuff. Also, that's how they get the freaking 10K, 12K BG score. You can't tell me one single guy is doing all that unless he has all the time in the world to do that shit, right? I think the highest, what's the high? Just check it out, right? If you guys check out like on Diablo TV or the leaderboard stuff like that, where they Diablo.tv, where they check the leaderboards and all that, where they keeps track of all the guys who have the highest score. I think the highest score was like 12K BG score. See how much resonance that guy's holding, and is he really just doing it all on his own, you know, or does he have a couple guys helping him out to play the whole freaking time? So it is what it is, y'all. So where's my Demon Hunter class again? And then this player here, I talked about this player also in the this player has 6K BG score. Right, his gear is not leveled up, at least in the 20s. His set items are not geared up at all. Like pretty much like 2s and 3s levels on the set items. Couple level 5s there. At only 33K BG score, 33K combat rating, with only 570 resonance. Like, come on, like what is going on here, y'all? Like, what is going on? Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. So, anyways, and I'm sure there's other players there also that would be interesting to check out here. But anyways, that's what I'm going with all this, like comparing all the other players compared to what I do in the game. And yeah, that's how I realized it was me, right? I'm the only player. I'm the only player that doesn't have to that doesn't climb to legend rank like that, and 1230 resonance, no charm, no familiars, no runes. I should sing a song about that. No charms, no 5-star gems. Right, that's another one, right? No, I'm pretty much the only one that doesn't use 5-star gems for the most part. I'm sure there are other players that don't use 5-star gems, but are they as successful in the battlegrounds like I am? No. And my gems are not even maxed out, right? They're like at rank 5s. These are all rank 5s. See, rank 5s. I have a rank 6 bloody reach though. That's like my highest ranked one. rank 5, and then I have 3 rank 10 1-star gems, right? The Entropic Well, Everlasting Torment, and then the Berserker's Eye. And yeah, Blizzard, I proved it, like just look at my clan name, for crying out loud, Look at the clan name, y'all. Like, what are we doing here? Okay, I'm trying to introduce myself to you guys, and I believe I talked to some of the Blizzard employees already, in charge of the game or in charge of the community, and you know they know it's me, but I don't know, they're just they're, for some reason, they don't want to recognize me, even though it's the truth. And that's the thing about the truth, the truth prevails for most cases, right? If it's the truth, then there's no reason to not honor it, for Blizzard to formally recognize me as Diablo, right, the number 1 player of the entire franchise. The only player that's able to actually have the legit claim of earning the title of being called Diablo. And don't take my word for it. Look at other players. They'll tell you. They'll tell you it's me, right? Ask other Diablo YouTubers, or ask the Diablo partners, right? Right. I've talked to a bunch of them, pretty much most of them, and they'll tell you it's me. Unless they're a hater, then of course they're gonna talk shit. But if they're gonna be honest, then they'll tell you it's me. So if you want to talk to them, then you guys can talk to them about it. That way, you guys can really realize that it's me. And what else? Also, the players. Ask the players that go up against me in fair play matches or in playable BG matches. Right? The playable BG matches is like when the resonance is similar, right? Similar resonance, right? I'm only at 1.2k res, right? 1230. So anybody who plays against me in that resonance, 1K, between 1K to 2K, even though 2K, those guys have the advantage already because they have double my freaking resonance, right? Pretty much, give or take. And they'll tell you straight up it's me, What else? Oh yeah, then the fair play PvP modes, right? Like Conqueror PvP and Alley of Blood, there everybody will tell you that it's me, unless I'm getting one shot untargetable, killed by a monk. You know what I'm saying? Or the freaking, I'm dying because the guy is freaking invincible. I'm literally fighting players that are invincible, man, that are immune to damage and untargetable. Like what is this? You know what I'm saying? And that's a topic for a whole nother debate, right? A whole nother issue, a whole nother topic of how other classes have immune to damage and untargetable, a long ass untargetable time, but the Demon Hunter class doesn't have that kind of time, and other classes don't either. But a bunch of other classes haven't, right? The Barbs, the Satyrs, the Monks. I think Wizards also have immune to damage also. So there's other, and even I think, of course, the Necros are untargetable also when they do their Wraith form, or probably something else by now. I don't know. I don't keep up with all the skills, unless it's really messing with my with my battles, right? Like right now, it's just me and the monk. Me and the monks. It's just a bad matchup for demon hunters. And then, of course, the Crusaders, when they pop up that golden circle thing, and they're immune to damage, or the Barbs when they're when you take out their whole health bar, and then they're rewarded with invincibility. It just doesn't make sense, right? I'm like, okay, if they're gonna have all that stuff, then let demon hunters have that same exact time of being invincible or untargetable or whatever. If we want to talk about class balance, right? Right? How is this possible? How does this make sense? How do other classes, right? How can other classes have immune to damage, right? Be invincible for a certain period of time, and or untargetable for a certain period of time, but other classes don't have that same time, that same amount of time window of being invincible or untargetable. What the fuck? What's that about? What is that about? Right? Because if I get into a battle with somebody that has that and they're invincible, then what the fuck is that? What is that? He gets to be invincible and not me. That's stupid, that's stupid. And that's what players without that shit have to deal with. So we gotta fix that, Either I think a good thing about that would be for either all players should have it, or it should be disabled in PvP and it's only allowed in PvE. In PvE, player versus environment. But in PvP, player versus player, if not every class has that same exact time to be invincible or untargetable, then no classes should have it, right? To make it fair. Because it's not fair when you're fighting a guy that's invincible. And you're not able to do that either. It's stupid. So anyways, y'all, this is already going half an hour already. So, I put more time into this one because this is day 7, we're a week into it. Blizzard's probably not gonna fucking do shit, they're probably not gonna recognize me unless I have a big audience or something like that, as they mentioned to me or something like that. I'm like, man, it ain't right, just hopefully you guys will honor the truth, right? And to the people who are gonna talk shit, right, the haters and shit, they know that they're just coming from a place of hate and jealousy or envy, right? They know very well, and I'm telling them all right now because they know exactly who they are. They know that if they play me in PvP in Battlegrounds or in Fair Play Conquer PvP or Alley of Blood or whatever, if it's a 100% fair play, same stats match, they know that they're in deep shit. They know exactly who they're playing. They know that I'm the final boss of the entire fucking thing, and they know they're playing Diablo when they play me. So, and I'm not trying to brag and boast about this shit, but I'm just trying to make my claim real, because it's real. I'm trying to let you guys know it's a real thing. There is a player out there that can legitimately make the claim of being Diablo. That doesn't mean that I'm fucking perfect. I'm far from it. Nobody's perfect, right? I die in playable matches also. You see, but I'm the most consistent. I'm the most consistent with racking up a bunch of kills, and I'm pretty much the most difficult player to kill in the game, right? In a nutshell, that's what it means. So that's what it is, y'all. And right, the haters, aka my number one fans, are just gonna type in bullshit comments, just because that's all they can do. That's all they can fucking talk about is just bullshit, and it's stupid. Say it on the freaking battlegrounds if you see me in the battlegrounds in a fair play match, then talk shit, but just to talk shit, just to do it. Well, then again, it's the internet, right? So everybody is just going to talk shit on the internet, just for the shits and giggles. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong on your topic or your debate. Either way, they're still just going to, they can agree with me, right? They can even agree with me, right? But they're still going to fucking talk shit because that's just who they are as a person. You see? And that's the truth. That's the truth, right? How are you going to argue something that's the truth? The whales. Do you think the whales are going to freaking talk shit about my PvP skills and fair play matches if they're playing the game on the easiest mode possible? Like, imagine that, right? We got whales that are freaking trying to pass off as good players because they spend thousands of dollars into the game, and playing amongst each other, right? Which is like the 0.1% of the player base, right? Because one out of actually 1,000 players or more is not going to be a whale, right? So they're playing just amongst each other, right? All the whales know each other pretty much by now, right? They even have their own whale Discord, right? They pretty much all know each other, right? It's a very small group of players, right? And they're just playing amongst each other and just one-shotting everybody else that isn't a whale, and they think that that they're good players and shit, right? When we're playing the game on easy mode, right? They're playing on the easiest settings, right? Having 10K, 11K, 12K, 13K resonance, right? And they're trying to, because the thing is, they think because they spent all that money into the game that they're just even that much better than me in the video game, in the game, and that's just ridiculous, right? They play the game on easy mode, but they think that they're this great player, right? I play the game in hardcore mode. That's why I know I'm the actual good player, and but this isn't the game for that, right? Because this isn't an esport. and we can't just match up and play against who you want, because like in custom lobbies or whatever. We could, like in war games, but again, that needs to be fixed if you want to make it a fair play thing. In the war games, you could make it to where if you have like if Blizzard is able to put in the war games the option to have a conquer PvP rules, then there you go. Now it will be fair play. But right now, the way it is, people can still have the advantage over others, depending on what kind of war games it is, right? Because it's up to the host to decide the rules. And then the last attempt at a fair play war games thing, it wasn't really a fair play one, and that's why I stopped participating in the ones there in this server, because it's not a fair play event, tournament. And people can talk shit about that or not, but I know what I'm talking about here, right? If it's fair play, great. If it's not fair play, then you shouldn't be talking shit about what I'm saying, because all I'm asking for is a fair play freaking PvP match. That's it, If you put me in a fair play PvP match, we all know what's gonna happen, okay? And that's why I'm making my claim on all this Blizzard entertainment, okay? Because it's the truth, okay? Do I come off across as being brash or bragging and boasting? Perhaps, maybe I should tone it down a bit. But again, I'm trying to make this claim of being the title character of your franchise, of one of your franchises, which is Diablo, the Diablo franchise. And, I have to talk like this sometimes, because it's serious, right? I'm trying to claim to be the number one player of a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar franchise. Okay, I have to show proof, right? I have to, which I do have a bunch of, right? I sing songs about this, and I can go on and on about all this shit. Do you guys really think I would do all this shit like I've been saying in my other videos? Do you guys honestly believe I would do all this shit if it wasn't the truth? If I honestly didn't believe 100% with all my being that what I'm saying is the truth? It's the truth. If this was a lie, then I'd be setting myself up as the biggest clown in Diablo Immortal of the whole Diablo franchise. But that's not the case. All right, it's the opposite. I'm showing that I'm the guy that can actually claim all this. And that's why I'm trying to make this claim, Blizzard. I'm trying to make this claim. Will you honor the truth? That's what I want to know. And I think that's what the community would like to know also. I think the community would like to know who Diablo really is, right? The player that's able to claim the title of Diablo, you guys, I'm sure you guys knew that this was always possible. And, I'm just here to, make my claim that I earned, right? I earned this. And work with you guys, going to Blizzard headquarters, having my office there, I think the guy that can call himself Diablo from the Diablo franchise should have his own office, right? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys, share my story. Then once I have my own office there, then I'll be able to stream the games and continue to prove my claim. That would be the real Diablo show, right? Because it's the truth. So let's see if we can fix this. Let's see if we can make it right, Blizzard. I know it's a curveball. What I'm asking here, right? What I'm claiming, right? But I think deep down you guys knew that this is always possible. That a player could actually claim the title of being called Diablo. And I hope you guys side with the truth here. I really hope you guys side with the truth. If not, then it's whatever. I'm trying. I'm trying to let you guys know, and a couple of you guys know already. But for some reason, you don't want to move forward with the real Diablo show. I get it. It's a curveball, and I wasn't part of the plan, right? I wasn't part of your guys' plans. But this is serious now. This is real. This is real, and if I have to get a bigger audience to make you guys finally understand, that I'm just gonna have to do that, right? I'm gonna have to freaking grind videos every day, live stream, and and people are going to start talking. And see, the thing is, the whole Diablo community doesn't even know I exist yet, right? This is just in Diablo Immortal. The who's who in Diablo Immortal already know that I exist, right? The Diablo partners, top players from different regions, and the players that face me in the playable matches, you know. So this isn't going away. Like as soon as I, you know, I'm able to stream and all that, then not just this game but all the other Diablo games, you know, the whole Diablo community is going to realize that it's me, and if we wait until that time, then of course I'm going to feel kind of bitter, because I'm like, hey man, I already I already showed myself to you guys, right? I already tried to introduce myself to you guys, when I wasn't when I wasn't successful, you know. So then when I do become successful, right? Because the truth is just gonna spread like wildfire, right? If we have to wait till then, right? If I need 50,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers or whatever, you know, then by that time, I'm just I'm be kind of pissed, right? Because it shouldn't have come down to that, the evidence is already there. You don't got to hear from somebody else that it's me. I am giving you guys this this proof already, right? In my hundreds of matches that I've uploaded and all that. So, and my story of how I'm doing all this with just the least amount of gear equipped and with such low resonance at only 1230 resonance right now. So I can go on and on, as you guys can see, right? I can keep going on and on and on about all this, and I think I'm just gonna leave it here. It's day 7, 1 weekend. If Blizzard even sees this video, cool. If not, then all right, tomorrow's another day. But hopefully you guys understand my frustration on all this. I want to make the introduction at Blizzard headquarters, share my story, and begin my work on the Real Diablo show with you guys. With or without you guys, right? The Real Diablo show will happen. But I would like to work with y'all, right? Because then it'll be the truth. Why wouldn't the company who created the Diablo franchise want to work with the guy that can actually be called Diablo, right? So hopefully you guys understand my frustration and all this, and that's why I'm talking like this. That's why I'm making videos that are over 40 minutes long already sometimes, even 1 hour long sometimes, because it's the truth, right? I'm very passionate about the game. I'm very passionate about learning. I'm very passionate about PvP, right? And the whole Diablo franchise, and I want to get into it, right? The lore and all that stuff, right? All the other games, right? Diablo 1, 2, 3, 4, and other Blizzard games as well, like WoW, like World of Warcraft, maybe Overwatch also, right? And earn my place in those PvP games also. And yeah, just having a good time, enjoying the game, creating content, enjoying the games, and creating content. That's all it is, man. It's just video games at the end of the day, right? So I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to showcase what I can do, and then give back to the community when I'm able to. And Blizzard, if you guys can help me out with all that, then I think the whole community would appreciate it. They would appreciate to be able to see the actual player that's able to be called Diablo. And that's as real as I can explain it, y'all. All right, y'all. So that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. My bad if it was kind of a dark tone towards the middle and the end. But hey, hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from here. And where I'm going with all this, and the stakes that are involved as far as the history of the franchise, of the Diablo franchise. Right. This is history. This is historical. Right? A player's claiming to be Diablo of the entire Diablo franchise. 30 years in the making. I revealed myself 4 years ago already. 26 when it was 26 years. So now 4 years later, now it's exactly 30 years later now. pretty much. So it's up to you guys, Blizzard, if you guys are going to honor the truth or not. Will it happen? I don't know. We're just going to have to tune into the next one. All right. We'll find out. Anyways, y'all, that's going to be it for this video. You know, SurgicalSnipes signing off. I will see you in the next one.